Alexandra.
And Marcia.
And today we're going to be talking about Stranger Things. The season 5 does come out tomorrow. So when we were like brainstorming for the podcast, we kept talking about season 5 just because the like first 5 minutes of the podcast of the show had just come out. And, you know, this show has been going on forever. So, you know, I think I was 13 when it first came out.
I think it was 12.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. And we just wanted to do, you know, for us it's fuzzy. So we wanted to do a recap so we know everything that's happened in the last 4 seasons without having to go back and watch the last 4 seasons. And so we'll start with season 1. Season 1 opens with 4 friends. It's Mike, Will, Dustin, and Lucas. And they're all playing Dungeons and Dragons in Mike's basement. And then, you know, eventually the night ends, they finish playing, they go back to their houses, they're all like going back on bikes, and it's like nighttime. Also, this is set in like the past, so like it was when you could ride your bikes with your friends at nighttime. And then they all go their separate ways to go home. And it isn't until the next morning that Joyce, which is Will's mom, realizes that Will isn't in his bed. And she like, before she starts like really freaking out, she calls around a bunch to figure out like if Will stayed at Mike's house or Dustin's house or Lucas's house. And she finds out that he never even made it home. And then, so that's kind of where the search for Will starts. And the whole season kind of focuses on searching for Will. It kind of breaks into 3 groups. So we'll have his friends, who are Mike, Dustin, and Lucas. And then we have his mom, Joyce, and his brother, Jonathan. And they're, like, looking for him as well. And then we have Hopper, who is, like, the town's sheriff. So he's, like, leading the investigation to look for him. And then they all also take different approaches to looking for Will. So his friends kind of take a boots on the ground. They go out to the place where he was last seen. And it's also nighttime, and it's pouring rain. And they're, like, 3 little kids. The weather was so crazy. And somebody else had just gone missing around their age. So why that happened, who knows. But they end up finding...
And if you don't know, the person who did get missing was Barb.
Oh, yeah.
It was Mike's older sister's...
Oh, yeah, Mike's older sister's friend. Yeah. She goes missing, too, but after Will.
But after, I believe. Or before.
No, it was after, I think.
So.
But, like, right now they're looking for Will. And they're looking for him in a forest. And instead of finding Will, they come across this little bald girl. And she can't talk. And it's pouring rain. And it's nighttime. So they're like, let's take her home. And they put her in Mike's basement. And, you know, we'll go back to that. But that's how Will's friends are reacting to Will being missing. And then we have Joyce.
Who is literally going crazy because she sees her son, like, talking to like these lights on the walls that have letters, you know.
Yeah, she thinks Will is communicating through the lights.
Yeah, but like she thinks like he's schizophrenic, but then also the town thinks she's crazy for even thinking that.
They think she's schizophrenic for like.
Because they don't believe.
Yeah, because she like, so she'll be like, go to Hopper and be like, I know something about Will, I know something. So like he's an investigator, so he goes, and she has painted like letters all over the wall with Christmas lights, and she thinks he's communicating through the letters and the Christmas lights. And then
Hopper somehow gets led into a secret like random government lab that he believes that does like human experiments.
And that's when they find
that's when they find Will's body.
Yeah, they find Will's body in the lake.
Yeah, because Hopper gets thrown into the water.
Will gets.
No, I thought it was Hopper.
Oh, he gets thrown in the water, finds Will, and we find out later it was all because of the lab.
Yes.
They're like trying to throw him off.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they like they found out because they cut his body open. And it's all just caught in, right? Okay.
And then there's Will's friends that are noticing weird things as well because they see Will communicating to them through walkie-talkies. And then they found this girl, then the girl in the basement, and then they find out that she has superpowers. Powers.
And her name's L11, right?
Yeah. And then she can like control people and then like move stuff with her mind. And then, like, every time that happens, like her nose bleeds. It's just like kind of weird, you know.
Yeah, she like if she uses too many of her powers, her nose starts to bleed. But anyways, like eventually, like all of their findings, like Hopper, Joyce, that it like all leads back into, they kind of like all their pieces come together, and they find out the truth, which is that Will is alive, but he's in a different dimension in the lab that Hopper had found. And that different dimension, like the gate that they found, was opened by 11.
Yeah.
But 11 isn't like, she's not evil. She didn't like open it for no
She
reason.
was unaware. She basically was used to open the gate.
Yeah, she was experimented on like half her life. That's also why she can't talk. And then, so from the gate, they find out that Will is kind of like inside of this gate, inside of the lab. So they have to like Joyce and Hopper go into the gate, which is another dimension that they call the Upside Down. And the Upside Down is like scary looking. It's
it looks like
Opposite.
hell in a way.
Yeah, it's kind of like insinuated that it's hell because it's like underneath our world, and it's like upside down.
Yeah.
And then it's like foggy and gray and
like black and
and
scary.
slimy.
The definition of hell, if you want to
Yeah.
say that.
And then, so Hopper and Joyce go into the Upside Down to go retrieve Will out of it. And at the same time, the kids, so like Mike, Dustin, and 11 are fighting a Demogorgon, which is the creature that had like brought Will into the Upside Down. And it's like this like flower looking thing. It has like little teeth on the petals of the flowers. Yeah. And then, so they're fighting a Demogorgon, and then Joyce and Hopper are grabbing Will, and they get Will, and then they defeat the Demogorgon, but the way it happens is like 11 defeats it, and then she kind of ends up dead because of it.
Yeah, because
she's like
so much of her power.
Yeah, it is, and they don't really like see her die, but they don't also. She just kind of disappears, right? And then, so that's how season 1 ends. And then going into season 2.
So season 2, it picks up a year later in the season where Will is back, and he is a bit different than he usually is. Like, after he came back, he acted totally not the same as he was the night that he left. Having flashbacks and all these memories that happened to him during that time when he was in the Upside Down.
And they're not just like normal flashbacks either.
They're like actual flashbacks from when he was down
like
there.
he'll be standing somewhere and then like the whole world around him transforms and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just like quick hallucinations basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of his visions, he always constantly gets this one vision of this one monster. It's really big, it's huge, and
it's in the sky, right?
It's in the sky, yeah. Like every time he sees it, the sky goes dark, it goes black, and all he can see is him. And every time he sees it, he runs. Yeah. He's always running away. But Will goes back to school, even though he went through all of that. And Mike, the person who had 11 in his basement, he goes through a hard time understanding why Elle had left and why she was gone.
Yeah, or where she was, or that she even died. Yeah.
But he didn't know that Hopper took 11 or found 11 by putting food in a box in the snow every winter, putting food in it, and then one day 11 showed up and
they were Eggos.
They were Eggos.
That was like those
stupid
Eggos, yeah.
And she ended up showing up at the box one day, and he took her with her. Well, he took him with her.
And then he kept it a secret.
Yeah, he kept it a secret for a good while. He was found to be very controlling over Elle, as he would not allow her to go anywhere, go outside, go like anywhere without him. But he'd also break a lot of promises towards her.
Oh yeah, cause like that's like the radio thing, right?
Yeah,
where like something like they were gonna watch a movie and then he never came home.
Yeah, he never came. He was out late patrolling at visiting the decay of what was happening around the city, basically.
Yeah.
And then later on, at the same time, as that was happening, Elle was in the house, not knowing what to do as she was lonely. They meet a new character that we were introduced to, is Max. Max is a little red-haired girl who they found to be really cool, as she did beat them in a bunch of video games. But at first, they weren't really into her, as, you know, she's a girl who's beating them at video games. Yeah. And you know how dudes are. They're little.
And her thing was like Mad Max, right?
Yeah,
They didn't know who she was. They thought, they assumed she was a boy because it's Max.
Yes.
And she's good at games, so.
Yeah.
And then, so the thing that you said, like, about Hopper visiting, like, the decay. So there's, like, randomly tunnels spreading underground underneath Hawkins, and then it's kind of killing crops, messing them up. Like
the pumpkins.
The pumpkins, right?
Yeah.
They all turn black, and then they just like rotted
They're
out of.
rotting,
They all
yeah.
rotted overnight, and then so they're like kind of they think it's kind of a civil matter of like, oh, this guy's ruining this guy's crops because he's jealous and stuff, but then like it turns out to be like tunnels from the upside down being open. And then so Will is still being plagued by these like visions and flashbacks and stuff, and they find out that he was like possessed this entire season by a new creature that they call the Mind Flayer, which is the thing that like he had been seeing in the sky. And then like they end up like taking Will to like a shed and making him really hot because they find out that the Mind Flayer doesn't like heat, and they're like trying to like heat the Mind Flayer out of him. And that's where like the iconic like your mom, you know what I'm talking about, that one TikTok audio.
I think
And
so.
he's like there's just like a lot of things come out of that. Never mind, nobody knew what I was talking about. Anyways, so Nancy, who is Mike's sister,
Yeah.
Mike's sister, and Jonathan team up to kind of, because we had talked about Barbara already,
Yes.
like she went missing. They kind of like start investigating the lab, and they kind of just want to like bring it to light that like this lab is evil, and that's where 11 comes from. And then everything builds kind of towards like an effort to save Hawkins from like the Mind Flayer and save Will again. And then they kind of fight off like the Mind Flayer altogether and get Will back from it. And then the season ends again with like that feeling of like, oh, everything's back to normal.
Yeah.
But not really. But it's not. It's never back to normal. And then we'll go into season 3 now, which is our second segment. No. You want to start it?
Me? Oh, okay. And then
I could do it too.
yeah.
So season 3 takes place again in Hawkins, but this season it's kind of a bigger time jump, and now we're like more in like the 80s, and it starts off in like this kind of retro, like a fun new mall that they're building in Hawkins, because Hawkins had just been like a small town. It wasn't like, it didn't have like a big huge mall, and then it has like this huge shopping plaza now, and naturally like all the kids end up hanging out there. And then like 11 came integrated back into the group and stuff. And so the plot of this season is that there are Soviets trying to secretly operate a huge underground facility under the mall, and their goal is to kind of reopen the gate that 11 had closed in that first season. And there's like, they find out it's like Steven,
I forgot who else.
Robin,
Yes.
Stephen Robin?
from like Scoops Ahoy.
Yes.
Because so Steve and Robin are working in the Scoops Ahoy, which is a ice cream shop in the mall, and they're the ones that find out about the Soviet operation. And the fact that their goal is to reopen the gate in the Upside Down. And then they find out a piece of the Mind Flayer is still awake in Hawkins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then at least it's season 4, right? Or season...
Yeah, you go to season 4. The blue
and
part.
then the what?
The blue part.
Which I thought was the best season.
Season 4.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot more happened.
Yeah,
You know,
it kind of changed into a different show.
It
Yeah.
was more interactive. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, I don't know, I thought there was a lot more action, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, because like it wasn't based off just one person. It was based off everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first 2 were like 11.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then this one was Bill, I believe.
Oh yeah, there's
Max
like a
and
bunch of new
Brother.
characters
Yeah.
added too.
And then also was taken like in like multiple different locations, like Russia, California, Hawkins.
Yeah.
So it kind of like gave like everyone like a feel of what was happening in each like place. You
Yeah,
know what I
Mhm.
a
mean?
different perspective.
Yeah. And then in this season, they're introduced to Vecna, which is kind of
Mhm.
like the enemy of the season.
He's like the
Um,
ultimate one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one that kind of.
He's the final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to take over Hawkins.
Mhm.
So his main target was Max. because of her like trauma and like her
Because he feeds off of it.
yeah, he feeds off of that, so kind of like he wanted her, like he wanted to take over her body, like how he like kind of took over Will in a way.
Yeah.
And then he like kills teens in very gruesome ways. Like you guys remember like the girl in like the RV where like he like lifted her up and kind of like
it was Chrissy.
Yeah, Christy.
Oh,
yeah,
oh, okay, yeah. Okay,
and
okay.
Yeah, and her boyfriend is like he becomes really psycho.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, kind of like
Oh,
broke
this
her
is
bones in midair.
Yeah, in this season they're all also in the Hellfire Club, right?
Yes.
They're all like more mature
They're
in season
school.
4.
They're at high school. At
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah, because they were like really little when it started. Now they're all mature. They're in the
Yes.
Hellfire Club. And then Chrissy gets killed in the RV.
Yeah, and then more teens starts to get killed.
Okay, and they start blaming the Hellfire Club. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
because you know they're all about.
Yeah,
they think
it's the
they're all about
Hellfire
killing.
Club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're cool, basically.
Yeah, and then they discover who Vecna really is, and they discover that he's what's his name, Henry Creel, aka like number 1.
Number 1, yeah, the original.
Because 11 is number 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
so
number 1.
Yeah, so he came from the same like.
He came from the same group, but he was the first one to ever like become what them,
yeah,
whatever they are.
And then
But this is like they start blaming the Hellfire Club because not only because they're like Hellfire and they
But
like
because
Dungeons and Dragons.
There's a person who is the group leader, would you call it?
Yeah, his name is
Ooh.
Eddie Munson.
yeah,
Eddie
yeah.
Munson, and he's very like he's a punk, and it's like that era where like if you were a punk, you were also like
He's a punk,
yeah,
already like a year to 2 years already past high school, but still in high school.
right,
like,
yes, okay,
Yeah.
and then like they start blaming him,
Yeah.
and Chrissy, the one who gets killed in an RV, gets killed in his RV.
Yeah, because they were doing offers basically.
And then, but nobody, obviously, they start targeting Eddie.
Because it was in his RV.
Yeah, because it was in his RV, and then like
the club he was in.
yeah, and then but Chrissy, she died to Vecna.
Yeah.
And then he's Henry Creel.
Yes,
yeah,
he's
that's
the
his
Okay.
real name. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And that's where they go to that one house, right?
Like
The Creel house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's where he originated from. Yes.
Yeah, and then like that's where like kind of the climax of the season happens. Well, no, actually, that's like before the Max thing, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It's like in the beginning of season. I think somewhere in the beginning to like middle, it's where they show a big clock and it's like ticking and it's just showing like past effects of number 1 basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before he was Vecna.
Before he was Vecna.
Okay.
Yes.
And then maybe a few seasons. I think like the first season or second season, 11 actually like not confronts but like talks to Vecna without knowing that he's Vecna. So it kind of like I think
Because he worked at the facility. He was in the
yeah,
facility
he
that
was like
like
a nurse.
Yeah.
That would like take care of the kids that were there, but she didn't
When
know.
she was in there,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I think they kind of had like a confrontation, where it kind of led to like. I don't know,
Yeah.
I think she was trying to like. I think she attacked him or something, but I could be wrong about that. But
This is before what's happening now.
yeah, before
Okay.
she like knows that it was him, and then.
And then that's where, so they're in the Creel house, and that's when they get all his backstory, and somehow there they find out that the way he killed Chrissy was like by putting her up. That he kind of like snatches your soul and takes it to like this other dimension, which is the upside down, and that's where they find out somehow that like music is what gets you back. Like if he has you, the only thing that could get you back down is music.
Yeah.
Or
Or
like-
like be like a certain like their favorite music.
Yeah,
Can't
their
be
favorite
just a
music.
random
Yeah,
music.
okay, yeah. And then that's where they end up at a cemetery.
Yes, because Max was in this translucent, like she was basically stuck in her body and she wasn't like moving. Basically, she was in
Yeah.
another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they like that because they find out that the way to get her back is through music, and they like that's where they like the scene of her levitating comes from, because they put like the little headphones on her and they start playing music, and then she was too far gone at that
let's be honest,
point.
it did not work.
And she was also like 15 feet in the air and she falls and breaks all her legs. Do you remember that? She like ends
I
up
do.
like.
I remember her that at the end of the season she is in a hospital.
Yeah,
That's
cause
the one that I
yeah,
remember.
She ends up in a coma with like a whole lot of broken bones.
and she never fully came back down. So like she's like she seems in a
Yeah.
coma, but she's like we like at the end of the season we don't know if I guess we'll find out in season 5 if she survived or not because she's basically like brain dead, right?
Basically.
Yeah, no
Yeah, and then like there's also something else in season 5, whereas 11 isn't able to use her powers, and like the whole that's no not season 5, season 4, and that's like the whole thing too is like
Yeah, that 11 had no powers during.
yeah, and that's why
entire
they can't really fight Vecna this time because like all the other times they were able to like defeat the Mind Flayer and the Demogorgon because 11 had powers, but this time they didn't have powers. And then so like I guess that leads us into our third segment, which is just like conspiracies, you know, what we think will happen in season 5, where we hope the show will go. So what was your guys' favorite? Like anything we didn't mention? That was your favorite part of Stranger Things?
I think a favorite part of mine was when 11 and 1 first met. When they first met, it was like basically 11 was having memories when she was in the lab where 1 was younger and they were doing just repeats of this one scene where all this trauma things were happening where I basically 1 killed almost every other number in the room besides besides Papa, and I guess that's the one scene that 11 just kept seeing over and over again until at some point she and 1 interacted. But I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a whole different show right now.
No, I remember what you were talking about. Yeah. So and then like I guess it just leads us into like there's so many conspiracies about it.
Yeah.
Like that's what is gonna happen, and the fact that it was all connected all along, like if you it's really crazy. And then so in season 5 I guess we're gonna find out because Vecna is weakened by the end of season 5, but he's not dead. And then also like that's when they look out into the hill and like there's like that cloud.
Basically,
it's like red.
The red cloud that we always see.
Yeah.
But this time it's like more
really big. And then like he had like like the upside down is in Hawkins now.
Yeah.
Because before it was a gate and now it's in Hawkins.
Oh yeah, which mentions the cracks in the floor.
Yeah. So now like in season 5 we'll find out like where that goes basically.
What was the most saddest scene out of the entire season?
In season 4?
Yes.
What happened in season 4 again? Oh yeah. No, I'm like trying to think of things we didn't talk about already.
I think with the whole Max thing.
Yeah, well, because Max is a loved character.
I was thinking Eddie, honestly.
Oh, yeah, because he sacrificed himself
and then
to save
at the
everyone.
end, when his either uncle or dad asked about him, and, like, Dustin had to lie to him, I was like, oh, my God, that's so sad.
Because nobody, like, by the end of the season, Eddie, who was, like, the Hellfire Club guy we were talking about, they see him die, but nobody knows that he died.
Yeah.
Like, Dustin knows he's dead, right?
Yeah, Dustin knows he's dead, but he's the only one who knows.
Yeah, and then, like, so the world is kind of, like, messed up. And that's what we'll lead into, that's what we're going to learn in season 5.
It makes a normal world basically the new Upside Down.
Yeah, and then, like, nobody knows how to react to it. Because it's, like, and then, like, so season 5 will focus on, because a lot of people think Hawkins was cursed from the beginning. Or they don't know if Hawkins was cursed, Will was cursed, what was cursed, something was cursed.
How it originated from.
Yeah, where it came from. We're going to learn more about Vecna, too, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Because we know a little bit about him, but, like, you know, just, like, his entire plot. Because, like, there's no, like, reason why he's doing it yet.
But I want to know, like, what he has, like, towards Hawkins, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that, too.
To,
That's
like,
what we'll find out. A lot of people are theorizing that it's something about Mike's mom. That, like, because, you know, Mike's mom, she, like, they think they were something. And then, yeah, like, that's what I've seen about season 5. I'm excited to see that, if that is the case. I haven't heard that
theory, but...
They think, like, because they think Vecna is connected to Mike more than Will. And the buyers in general. Because have you guys seen that, like, in season 5, Mike's little sister, who, like, is never really in the show, is going to be a main character, too. So, like, they think she has something to do with... Because they think Vecna and the mom or something. And then the daughter looks just like the mom. So like, you know, they think Vecna's out for the wheelers and not the buyers all along.
Yeah.
So that's a theory that I'm excited to hear if it was true or not, because it sounds really interesting. And then, so that's where we are now.
Basically.
That's kind of the next piece of the puzzle is tomorrow. And then I know that there's like another one on Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
Yeah, second
And
part,
then-
and then that's it.
And then if like I really, cause Stranger Things loves to kill everybody you like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard
Better
a lot
not.
of the characters are gonna die. Like,
I know.
like
I've seen
90%
so many
of them.
theories that all the characters are gonna die, and I will have such a bad
Yeah.
Christmas if everybody dies. Like I will go into the New Year so depressed if they all die.
No, yeah.
But I think Steve might die. That's the biggest
I
one
feel
that
like
they
everyone's saying Nancy might actually.
really.
Nancy might die in the scenes.
But it's just because like Steve is always in the action, so it's like I see him getting killed more than like
Yeah.
everybody else.
It's one of them, one of the groups.
Somebody, a main character has to die. Maybe 11 too. And that's like she started it, she ends it.
I feel like yeah.
But then again,
I
like
feel like she dies a lot more than the other characters, so I don't.
yeah,
think
she
they
has
do that.
died like 3 times already. I don't know. Maybe Will. Will would be like the best one to die.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't like. Okay, because Will is also like the one that was connected to it all from
Yeah.
the beginning. So like it makes sense for him to die. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and then so
Yeah.
I really hope they don't ruin my Christmas by
No, I
killing
know,
Steve.
I'm
Please
gonna
don't
be
ruin my
sad.
Christmas.
No, yeah.
You're gonna catch me watching it after Christmas. Trust
I
me.
oh you're right. I should do that. I should open my
No, but
presents
then
first.
TikTok is gonna like ruin
Yeah, I
everything,
know.
So like you're gonna find out regardless.
I guess
Okay.
no screen time.
no,
Right.
no screen time, no
For a
watching.
week, Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So we're the Stranger Things podcast, and I'm your moderator, Maria Paz,
I'm Alexandra.
And I'm Marcia.
and thank you for watching.
Bye.
If you are interested in a career in sports broadcasting,
Whether you're commentating a live game
or hosting your own TV show,
For more information, contact Greg Poff. That's me at solano.edu.
we hope to see you here next semester. And remember,
It's more than just sports. It's an education.